Hello there, my friends, and welcome to my channel. It's Kate in the Nest. I'm back. I hope you are having a happy weekend and that you are having some time to just do things that you like doing. So, sort of being kind to yourself. Often at this time of the year, we're the busiest people in our households. So, even if you've got a long to-do list, I hope you've, yeah, have this moment at least to stop and uh, watch either me or your favorite YouTuber, whatever you like. So this is part 2 of my little mini makes with Scrappy Bits that I started just yesterday. And I think I said in the I think I said in my video that I was enjoying it so much that I might have an all-nighter. Well, the news is I did. I literally could not stop stitching. And so I've got an announcement to make, because if you've watched that video, and probably if you are watching this, it would be handy to revise. I started out with these 4 pieces of vintage Cantha quilting. 1, 2, 3. Well, first of all, I had 3, and then I had 4. And then I thought, what am I going to do with them? How can I make them a vessel? And then it just came to me that, because I'd said the word, it was too big for a nest. And then afterwards I thought, girl, what are you sort of talking about there? This really is the same concept as the Japanese rice bag. They're square. And why couldn't this be called a nest? So what I did was I went to my Scrappy Bits of blanket and I found this beautiful orange one. I didn't have very much of it, but this is all about Scrappies. So I was able to just trace around and get a base for my 4 sides. Now, you don't have to use blanket, obviously. It could just as easily have been another Cantha square. So exactly the same. It's just me. If I have a nest, I have to. And so I ended up thinking about this a lot. Am I talking really fast? I'll slow down. It's the excitement. I ended up thinking about this lots because I just kept stitching and stitching. And there were a couple of times where I said, you are being so eclectic. And I thought, that's truly what I'm doing, and what is it I'm doing? And I thought, it's really me exploring East meets West. So this has ended up being called the East meets West Nest. I posted a little picture on Instagram this morning, and I got a lovely response from all different sorts of ways of communication. So much so that I was very bold. My bazaar was just about to open, and I put a few kits together. And yeah, I've never done that, a kit for a nest. And they're all different because it's impossible to get 2 pieces of this Cantha quilt. They just don't go together. So what am I doing? I just felt like, as I chatted to you, I'm pulling too tight because I'm so excited. This is a petal on this flower. And I didn't really think about what direction I wanted it to go, but up and down is okay for the moment, and then we'll go a little bit of angle here. I had some beautiful comments. I loved, oh, I'm sorry, I meant to write it down. Lovely lady, you know who you are, who said you feel like when I ask what you're doing, you feel like shouting it out. I wish I could hear you, but it is really lovely for me to imagine that we're stitching along. Who have I watched today? I watched Christine from Christine Creates who got a beautiful gift, and that reminds me I have some mail, and there's so much of it that I don't know how much I can show because I'm still discovering it, but it's from the lovely Amal, and she described it as joy mail, and I am going to borrow that term from whoever has made it up, and if it was you, Amal, I think it's the most wonderful thing ever, that it beats happy mail. It's joy mail, and I think it goes very well with what I'm experiencing when I get gifted things or just being on here. So the more we can share the joy, the better. Okay, so I've gone across the top here, and then I'm going to do a little bit of a directional change. This cantha is so beautiful and soft. I just zipped over to Spotlight because I've been cutting, would you believe, lots of fabric, because the bazaar has gone so well, and obviously some of the fabrics are brand new and I want to treat them with such respect, but I've been cutting so much that my blade was going blunt, so I went and got a spare one. I've got a few little bags, gifty bags, and what else did I get? Why was I thinking of Spotlight? Oh, everyone was buying 50% off Christmas decorations. I didn't get any of those. Oh, but I looked to see whether they had this fabric, and they didn't in my store. So, because I know a number of you really like it. Okay, where will I go now? I'll go over here. So a bit of thread painting, and then we'll do some more embellishing. Oh, I haven't gone through what she looks like. I just got straight into the stitching for a change. So yeah, imagine this is a piece of Spotlight digital photographic textile, and she's now living on, who knows how old this cantha quilt piece is, but I do love the sustainability and all aspects of it. I wanted to say hi to Lauren. He's a beautiful, beautiful young slow stitcher and quilter. I think she does everything. She makes clothes. She watched my video and sent me a comment to say that, yeah, she thought it was fun. And yeah, it's always lovely because there's definitely some colours in here that are Lauren colours. Now this bit inside here is pretty dark. Now if you get cantha, obviously it's different on both sides, but if you don't like it, there are all sorts of things to do. I'll do another stitch there. I'll do a 3 and come out and then cut it there. And that'll get covered over by more stitching. So, for example, in here, shall I go through the outside first? I think so. So I said I was going to use crochet. I did. This was a little medallion that I cut out. And then this is one of the braids that I bought back from India and also purchased from Louisa. And I turned it over so it wasn't as blingy gold, and then I put some stuffing in it. So I don't know, maybe you can see it more here. So it's bulging out, and then eventually I will embroider that flower, those petals inside. In fact, I could do that in this video. So that's that side. And the thing I loved was I tore a little bit of this pink sari, just the edge, and made a frill out of that. So she's very feminine. This is, I'm calling this the Missy side. And I also gathered deliberately this corner up. So it's given it a little bit more bulk. And I don't know whether you'll be able to see it. I had previously gouached, coloured that medallion. Okay, this side was the piece of 4 bits of cantha. I put that on and I've decided to make that 2 pockets. So this is why it's a handy nest. So things on the outside, and I've started to, in the end, yesterday that was 3 joined together. I moved the white one. Oh, I was doing that with you. And I was having trouble with my storage, wasn't I? That's there, and I really like that. So more embroidery to do there, and just the 2 sisters there. So they're all there. This is a metallic, beautiful. These are like roses and metal. I've only got this in one of my trim kits, I think, and I've got it in other colours, so that will be for another bazaar down the way. I changed my mind about the which yo-yos I would use, and I ended up putting 3 here and then putting the bit of vintage embroidery there. So I'm growing that garden around, so when it plops up, I've sort of got, even though that's a corner, because you know me, I don't do things with corners very often, except tote bags and pouches. That's for me a little pocket, and it's also, yeah, so it's useful. To match, I use the other length of this piece of torn sari silk to go down there, and I was going to put some mirror. I'll show you what that looks like. I thought about putting some mirror down the center there, or tagging it like a loop. Not decided yet. And is that where we started? Yep. Okay, so let's go back to the inside, which is quite dark, but again, because it's quite flexible, if say I was traveling somewhere, I could roll it over. So if I will trim that. That's a little bit pokey outy even for me. I was thinking that I have lots and lots of beautiful braids. So what is to stop me putting a piece of braid in there? It would help it be stiffer. And in fact, let's do that now. What I'm liking doing is actually shaping the ends of the flowers. And I might even on this one, I've never done this before, so it's another new thing. Just because it's a braid with edges, I have to show you my book. I was reading about this, that the Indian artisans saw the border as containing the garden. Otherwise, the garden would go everywhere. I thought I needed to hear that message. So, you know, that already looks more organic. And those flowers there can lead to there. So why don't we pin that? I've got a crochet bag to finish, but I might work on this again tonight because it was just so much fun. I've got my quilt, of course. Yep, lots and lots of projects. Okay, so the story can develop in here. The other thing that happened to me last night was when I was playing with her and thinking, what shape will she be and what will she look like, I did have the idea of doing a handle. So I got a long strip of the cantha and I stitched it together, and I played around even though it was very late at night. My husband said, what are you doing? What length? This is too long. And it's the first time I've actually bunched it up. So I did it, I just folded it into the center. I like that bit of the fabric. I like the fabric, but it's too long and it's a bit bulky. So I'm not going to use that as a handle. Or maybe, see, now I'm here with you because there's a Missy. Missy loves these pinks and purples. I could have it going there, over to there, and have it just hang down. I don't know. It's too thick. So we'll think about that in a different time. I also found this lace that I've used in, well, I dyed it, and I'm putting it in some of my kits or bundles. Really, they're bundles. That's what I've decided to call them. I'm thinking, so what am I trying to tell you today? I'm trying to say I experimented with being eclectic, and I absolutely loved it. Mixing vintage textiles from probably at least 3 countries here on this piece already. I dropped a piece of French braid on my way up to the living room, so I have to re-find that because then that will be French as well. So see, a little bit of lace like that. What do I still want? I've got so much fun still to have. I think maybe in there. And then see the garden. Oh, and I put that lovely little bit of, I love that braid. I don't know whether that's in a kit or not. It'll be a workshopper, maybe. So yeah, like that. And it's staying there, so I wonder if we could just do some. We use yellow in the center, or no, I need more of a contrast. I need that orangey hot pinky one. This one. So let's start doing this. I'll cut it so I miss some of the light and we get straight into the colour. You know what's happened, don't you? Oh, there, phew. I won't say it. So this is really, well, it's been fun from the very beginning. Oh, where did I put that? Oh, goodness. Oh, I bought this down too. See, oh, that's even better. This is a beautiful velvet that is in my velvet and silk bundle. It's a very, very scrumptious, beautiful one. And I think there's a couple, there might be a couple left. See, and you know, in this style, it's little pieces. So, oh, that's where that was. I'm covering up that bit of floral, so that's probably too same. Okay, let's put this somewhere else. Well, that's pretty beautiful. Yep, let's do that instead. So back to finding my long lost needle. Is there a right side and the wrong side? Yes, there is. Oh, it's pretty. And I think that is actually celebrating that beautiful cantha. I want to see the corner. Yeah, that's better. So I'm seeing that as a flower, and then these as flowers. I know some of you are new to slow stitching, and I want to say welcome to the community. This is probably a little out there for some slow stitchers. Thank you for being here, because I suppose I'm just being me, really, and the color is the color. The color is the thing, and the texture and the layer and the fun. So I thought I was going to do French knots, but look at that color coming out. I'm thinking of Kelly. Kelly Makrens is an amazing artist. I've been influenced by her greatly by doing her itty bitty online course and her sacred shrines, and she's having a tough time this Christmas, so I just want to say, I know she won't be watching, but if you know of Kelly and her work, she just needs our thoughts and our virtual hugs right now. Let's make some. So Kelly always says, if you are making a stitch on something like this, make it count. And seeing that this is such beautiful thread, I'm meandering with it to get over here, and it just is adding. It's not a lot, but it's just been a fun journey to get to the middle of this flower. Oh, I watched Corinne as well. What was Corinne doing? Oh, she's thinking about the next volume of the Roxas. I don't know if I watched anyone else. Oh, I watched Beck last night. I love watching things that I can't do, and Beck's been working from So Big Curated. She's been working on the squares that you cut in half and put together on the diagonals. There's a special name for that, which has gone out of my head, but it's fascinating. Beautiful colours. She's very clever. Oh. All right, so there's a not so beautiful. Like, I'm really happy with that one. This one, not as beautiful, but it's all okay. And then let's come down here. I mean, now this sun's gone behind a cloud. I hope it's not too dark. We've had the heat, the wind, and today I just can't keep up with it. But it is feeling more like summer. Okay, let me go into the middle. So this is our last center. So we're doing the rule of threes. because I've been reading up on interior design, especially after seeing the beautiful, beautiful buildings and decor on my trip. And I discovered something called the rule of threes, and I think it's used in lots of things. We always know that 3 seems to go together. So anyway, I just got reminded of that when I saw my 3 flowers. Here we go. Very happy with those. So when you get your fabric, like when you have any fabric, just remember that that can be just the foundation of what you end up doing. Okay. Yeah, really happy with that. I haven't talked to you about how I put the sides together. I varied it. So on this one, I went over and over, and then I've done some decorative down the line. This one I've covered up so you can't see. Oh, and this one I just did running stitch. And then because I had some left over from the frill, I went over and over there. I just stood up. It makes me happy to see this piece. I've also got some vintage sheeting here. And similarly, I'm sharing, well, I was sharing at the bazaar. Beautiful and soft and clean. And I thought I'm going to mix up our cultures. But that idea, I think I was talking to you yesterday about how these quilts haven't got wadding in them. Here's a beautiful, yeah, I'll do it on the right side. So we can find flowers anywhere. I'm just pausing because that was probably a silly thing to say. What I'm meaning is when you're looking for flowers, like there they are on the sheet, that maybe when the person bought this pack, that was the reason they bought it. Okay, so something like that I think should go inside. So that. So we've got a green garden here. We're about towards the corner. Look at this. I noticed this when I was stitching. That is, it's been, I don't know, visibly mended or just highlight stitching. And this is in like a green, a fluoro type green. Does that spoil that? I don't know yet, but I've got a flower. What else did I bring? Oh, I've got some of my favorite hot pink fringy. And I thought that could go somewhere inside. Oh, that's right, I was thinking. I like to layer fringes, so it could be in there somewhere, but I'm not feeling it. I also bought this. I know I've shown you this before, but this is in my ivory pack, or it was in my ivory pack. It's, I just want to wear that like a cuff. In fact, why don't I put that on one of my shirts? We'll make a way of, yep. Shall we just do something really crazy? You probably do this already. So there's a hole there and there's a hole there. I've got this beautiful sari silk. I think someone must have put colour on that because I didn't see. Do I want to cut it? I don't, but do you know what I'm thinking? I could feed the other end of that up in there and then tie a big bow, and I've got a beautiful calf out of braid. See where I go. I've also got this note. I decided that was too hot, didn't I? And this is the piece I was going to use. See how it all works? Oh, I know. It all works together. This. Not yet. So I'm just going to stitch a bit. Look at that for a beautiful. In fact, that could go in there. In here. And be a little pocket as well. See the hot pink? So I'm going to take this braid off. And we're going to layer it up. Oh, and I haven't used the velvet. I've got too many things to do. Okay, focus. I just find that piece of fabric just joyful. And that's the back of something like that, but see how it's completely different? So the same fabric. Oh, and see, the hardest thing is which bit do you use? I think it might have to bring me joy in there. Yeah, just over, completely over the patch. That's a bent pin. Oh, I just realised I was a spotlight and I didn't buy more pins. Yeah, so that when it opens, it's interesting, but not so contrasty. Okay, let's talk about this divine bit of velvet. So when I get strips like this, your mind can go anywhere, but mine's just going to this actually being a binding on top. So it blends. Is it too blendy? It makes it more interesting, doesn't it? Or over here. Or on top of here. That's all the cotton coming up from the inside. Have you got a favourite? Because I've nearly gone around the whole spot. This piece here is really looking like my garden, isn't it? Which is why I'm not going to put it there. I think I'm going to put it here. That's right, and have that flower there. And flower to flower, that vine. Going to put then I might trim it. I know what I'll do. I'll trim a tiny, I'll cut this flower out, the petals. I might actually let that sit up high. And roll that round. So remember, it's not about halves. It's, although that one is pretty halvy, but that's okay. And we'll go to, oh, look at that. We'll go to here. And then it's, see, just fun and beautiful at the same time. That's why we love doing what we do. You could be here, and I just want you to savor, because I'm trying to share it with you, because I know it's not accessible for everyone. This is organic soft cotton with little canthus. This is raw silk, and then this is velvet. Okay, we're going to have to be even more radical here. I'm going to cut this whole flower out, all the petals, as much as I can. Like that. And what about a little slit down in here between the petals? So it folds over to there. And then I'm going to back that with something so she stands up like a droopy little petal. Not a droopy petal, a standy-uppy petal. Okay. So we need another slit in here. So I hope I'm giving you some ideas. Really, it's just play. And let's shape, seeing I'm liking that impact. The beauty about this velvet is it's got a brown background, but it's a beautiful brown. And I know many of you like browns. Yep, look at that. Okay. Yep, so when she's on this side, we're going to have a little flower out there. We're going to have a frill. Got all my favourite bits happening. If I can find a needle. I've run completely out of my wools, so I've made a big note for next time when I have a bazaar that I'll do more, and I'll still stay in this colorway, but they will be different. Well, because you can never make the same one again. Well, I can't. Let's pull on that and hope that it's got an end. We're going to going to have another Barbie tonight because last night was yummy. Tonight it's salmon. I'm just doing a little overstitch. I think I might have to chat more about the joy mail in a different video because I don't want to rush that, and there's so many bits. We'll see what happens. This is a very, oh, it's attached. I was going to say I could put that there. It's attached to the wall. Now I'm getting bored with that. That's why I wanted to go down with that trim. So let's just move up here. And we'll go over the top and see what's happening. Oh, look at that. These incredible accidents happen when you don't plan. And I can't take the credit for planning that at all, but look at that juxtaposition of that beautiful green and that pink, and that this flower, this green goes onto there. Oh. So we'll just, I'm going to join this with Cantha. So I'm in sympathy. Really, it's running stitch. But I'm feeling like I'm being at one with the maker when I join and do my stitches alongside theirs. Oh. So that little bit has blended in well here. That looks like a petal, but we'll exaggerate it even more. Oh, and I mustn't forget that I want that to be a pocket. I haven't sewed it down yet, so take that pin out. I think it's just pinned, yeah. And another pin. Actually, I've done one stitch. That's what was happening. I was going up too high. Not really. Okay, let's go here. Oh, there's the needle. Is that like an artwork? That is incredible. won't go right around the edge. We'll make this look like the middle of the leaf or petal. And join it there. Come back and go over to where we started. And get some more pieces down. There we are. I don't want to waste this wool, so we're just going over a little bit more, make those stitches a bit more obvious than my first time across. That down here, we'll go back, just make some marks. Oh, I forgot that was a leaf, but it's okay. There we are. I'll just pull the thread out of my needle, so that's a good sign. But while I was just doing this, I thought the other beautiful thing, you might have thought of this, but I hadn't. We can just how's that for an idea? It's a single flower. I was thinking about it for here. So the center. So I've made my own treasure. Oh. So we'll go back for texture, velvet, and then jewels. And look at this for something interesting. Or I could cut those off as single leaves. Like, the beauty is incredible. The possibility is incredible. Oh my gosh, I've stood up and just realized how long this video is. And see, that's the absolute mark of having joyful stitching. I'm going to be doing this again tonight. Oh, there seems to be a needle. Oh, pin. And see, already I can keep things in the middle of it. All right, my friends, where were we? What side do we like the finish with? I like every side, but not that green strap. See, I just looked up and thought, no. All right, there we go. Until next time. And next video, I'll do something different. But for the moment, I hope you've got a project like this where you just don't want to stop ever and ever. brought that down. That's going to be another little frill somewhere, or a binding. Okay, stopping time now. Okay, see you soon. Please take care and look after yourself. And remember, have some me time, like you have some you time. Do you know what I mean? Okay, bye for now.